Let's start our today's Abhidhamma study. Paying homage to the Buddha, let's recite Namo Tassa 3 times together. Namo Tassa Bhagavato Arahato Samma Sambuddhassa. Namo Tassa Bhagavato Arahato Samma Sambuddhassa. Namo Tassa Bhagavato Arahato Samma Sambuddhassa. Today we are going to study about Kamma in the chapter 5. Here we have announced for the study plans of Abhidhamma up to the chapter 6. Chapter 6. Today I want to let you know that we have a little bit changed the study plan. Although we have planned to go through all the 6 chapters, but for this year we could not finish all. Then we will finish the chapter 5. And also I combined the 2 lessons about the plane of existence, including lifespan and individual. So the lesson 39 include all the information. So lesson 14 becomes about the nature of Kamma. Then we will continue to study about the cause and effect relationship. So the Kamma and result relationship in the next lesson, in lesson 41. And that will be the final lesson for this year. Because we have to start the examination work in December, 2nd December. So today we're going to study about the different types and nature of Kamma. And in Comprehensive Manual of Abhidhamma, you can read in page number 200 to 218. And also this lesson related to the lesson 7 and also lesson 12. In lesson 7, it talks about the unwholesome causes of action. These are akusala kammapata, and lesson 12 talk about the punya kriya vatu. So these are also the types of the kamma, akusala kamma and sense pure wholesome kamma. So you need to review lesson 7 and lesson 12. Okay, so today let's talk about the Kamma, how it is explained in the in chapter 5. So there, Kamma is translated as action or deed. The action or deed, the volitional action or ethical quality. So that is, we already know that wholesome and unwholesome Kamma. So that means the volitional action, which is mental factor. So mental factors of volitional action associated with wholesome and unwholesome are called the Kamma. But the mental factors are together with the resultant consciousness and functional consciousness are not called Kamma. So here, Kamma directly translated as action, but it refers to the Chedana, volitional action. Concept of the wholesome and unwholesome side. So the wholesome and unwholesome arise in the process of waddling and trainees are called the Kamma. But the volitional action of Arahat are not called Kamma. So now we know about the Kamma. What does mean Kamma? Chirana. So the Buddha said, the Chirana Hambekawi Kamma Varami. So the Kamma has the potency. It stored the energy of the potency to produce the result in the future. That is the Kamma. And the action of Buddha, Pajika Buddha, and Araha. So the wholesome and unwholesome consciousness cannot arise in their mental process, Buddha, Pajika Buddha, and Araha, because they already have eradicated the ignorance and craving. So the ignorance and craving are the roots of Kamma. As long as ignorance, we have the ignorance and craving, we will perform the action by three ways: the physical action, verbal action, and mental action. So the Buddha, Pajika Buddha, and Araha are also performing their action in three ways, same as we do. But they do not have the ignorance and craving. Those are the root of Kamma. Their actions are not called Kamma. And also, their action cannot produce any result. This is the difference between we ordinary person and the highest noble person of Buddha, Pajika Buddha, and Arahat. So their actions are not denoted as Kamma, just very functional. But they already have done the Kamma in the long past existence, cycle of existence, samsara. So they have the storage, they have the Kamma potency in their storage of mentalities. That is why they are bound to experience in the ripening of their past Kamma. So not the present Kamma. After the attainment of Arahata Magga, they have no more Kamma. But before the attainment of Arahata Magga, they have done so many different Kammas. So they are bound to experience. So they also have to experience the result of the Kamma, which is done in the past, in their past. So as long as their personalities in their precise way of expression, that is the five aggregates, as long as they have the five aggregate, they will be subject to the ripening Kamma, result of ripening Kamma. But when they, after passing away of Buddha, Pajika Buddha, and Arahat, because they don't have any future existence, they will not be reborn in any life. So they escape from the bound of the Kamma and results. So now Kamma produce resultants. So Kamma is one of the condition. So Kamma produce resultant. Resultant refers to the state of consciousness and mental fetters. Consciousness and mental fetters. And a type of Kamma born materiality. So the mentality resultants can be included in the consciousness and mental factor. The materiality resultants are Kamma born matter related to the Kamma. So Kamma produce the resultant, mean the resultants are consciousness and mental factor in the mentality side and Kamma born matter. In this way, the Kamma and result. First of all, we have to understand what are the Kamma and what are the resultants. Then so let's continue about the four types of Kamma as mentioned in chapter 5 of Abhidhamma Sangha. Kamma Chatuka. There, the Kicca Wasina by way of function, there are four types of Kamma by way of function, and another four types of Kamma by order of ripening, Pakadana Priyayena. And by time of ripening, there another four kinds. And another four kinds of Kamma, Pakatana Wasina. So we have to study the 16 types of Kamma in this chapter 5. Okay, so what are the four kinds of Kamma by way of function? The first one is Janaka Kamma, productive Kamma, and Upatambaka Kamma, supportive Kamma, Upapilaka Kamma, obstructive Kamma, and Upaghataka Kamma, destructive Kamma. I make Pali spelling mistake where I share the PowerPoint slide to you. So here I already made correction. The Upaghataka Kamma, the last one is destructive Kamma. And so let's see the Janaka Kamma, productive Kamma. What does mean productive Kamma is wholesome and unwholesome volition. So actually the volition associated with wholesome and unwholesome. That volition can produce the resultant mental state and Kamma born matter. Here mental state, as Venerable Bhikkhu Bodhi writes the mental state. Actually the resulting consciousness and mental factors, associated mental factors refers here mental state refers to the resultant consciousness and associated mental factor. Because the mental state can be misunderstood only the Cetasika, but actually here the volition, this Kamma, Janaka Kamma, can produce both wholesome and resultant consciousness, associated mental factor, and also Kamma born materiality. When it produces, so the time, about the times, both in Patisandhi, at the moment of rebirth linking, and also Pavoti during the time of during the course of existence, so lifetime, at the very first moment of life, and also during their lifetime. In two moments, it can produce. So sometimes the learner, Abhidhamma learner, can misunderstand only the past moment is the work of Janaka Kamma, but actually the Kamma born matter continue here. From the mentality side, some consciousness. So at the beginning, at the moment of Patisandhi, the rebirth linking consciousness is produced by the Kamma. That's why that Kamma is Janaka Kamma. And also at the same time of rebirth linking, some Kamma born materiality as the body of new beings. The body of new being is called the Patisandhi moment. At the moment of Patisandhi, the Kamma produce its result. That Kamma is called the Janaka Kamma. In other time, after the rebirth linking consciousness, it is called the lifetime or the poverty during the course of existence. And during that time also, the productive Kamma can produce its resultant chitta. What are the chitta? So the other resultant chitta produced by the Kamma. It is called, that Kamma is called the productive Kamma. And also the materiality, sense faculty, so eye, ear, etc. These Kamma born materialities are not arise together with rebirth linking consciousness. They arise after the moment of rebirth linking consciousness, which is included in the moment of poverty during the course of existence. That's why some sense faculty and sexual determination, eti power, and purisa power, we will study them in chapter 6, and also heartbeat. They arise after the moment of patisandhi consciousness. That is why they are included in the poverty. So we understand the productive Kamma can produce its result in both sides, in both time, the moment of the patisandhi and poverty. So for the rebirth linking moment, only a full course action, a full course of action. So the Kamma, which is called the Kamma Pata, that can produce the rebirth linking moment, rebirth linking consciousness. But the other wholesome and unwholesome Kamma, all other wholesome and unwholesome Kamma can produce the resultant during the course of existence. So in both times of patisandhi and poverty, they produce, but they are called the Janaka Kamma, productive Kamma, because they produce their result. Okay, so let's see another types of Kamma in first group. Upathambaka Kamma, this is called the Saputik Kamma. It cannot produce. The difference is the first one can produce itself, its result, but this second type of Kamma cannot produce its own result. So what it does, there supports, just supports the productive Kamma. So when the productive Kamma produce its result, and this second type just supports in two ways, by enabling to produce its result. So from the beginning, it supports, but it cannot produce itself. And in second way, reinforcing the continent of aggregates produced by another Kamma, So to understand how we need to study more about that. In the wholesome side, the productive Kamma produce the life in the beautiful plane of existence. After that, when it produces, the supportive Kamma support to be able to produce. And after the being born as a living being in the blissful plane of existence, the supportive Kamma support contributing the extension of one's lifespan. So to continue in long life. So the supportive Kamma support to have a long lifespan, and also ensure to be healthy, and also provide with well accessory for the living. This is the work of the supportive Kamma. And in the unwholesome side, also the supportive Kamma support to be reborn in the miserable realms, woeful state. Actually, the direct result produced by the productive Kamma. But from the beginning of the supportive Kamma it is work to be unable to produce the result. And also after being born in the miserable realms, support to be suffered there, and also extend the lifespan in the woeful state, trying to be there for a long time. And also, if the Bhikkhu body explained that if the Prodhatic Kamma produce the results causing the disease in one person, then the supportive Kamma work preventing the effectiveness of the medicine to prolong the disease in that person. That is the work of supportive Kamma. So this is how the second type of supportive Kamma work. So what is the third types? Upapilaka Kamma, obstructive Kamma. These types of Kamma also cannot produce its own result. Its own result. Upapilaka, the meaning of Upapilaka is the obstructs or torture. So torture or disrupt to the other Kamma. So obstruct and frustrate some other Kamma. This also can be in both sides, good and bad. A good Kamma obstruct another bad Kamma, and bad Kamma obstruct another good Kamma. In the same way, they are working towards especially toward the opposite Kamma. So countering its efficacy or shortening the duration of its result. So this is how the third type of obstructive Kamma work. And the last type, Upaghataka Kamma, the destructive Kamma. The supplants other weaker Kamma, so it cut off and prevent its perform from ripening and produce instead its own result. Here, the Bhikkhu body is explained in this way. So, Upaghataka, the nature of Upaghataka Kamma. So, you have to notice this. This Upaghataka Kamma can prevent and cut off the other Kamma and produce its own. So now we here Janaka Kamma produce, and also here destructive Kamma also produce. But in the Abhidhamma study, we need to notice the difference between Prodhatic Kamma and destructive Kamma. So Venerable Lady Siaro explained that these types of Kamma can cut off the efficacy of the sense faculty or sense faculty. So even the Janaka Kamma produce our sense faculty and also ear faculty, etc. But if we have done in the past to be blind or to be deaf, that Kamma having taken the opportunity during the course of existence, the Upaghataka Kamma, when it is ripened and it cut off the result of that Janaka Kamma in the to produce the eye faculties, and it cut off to be blinded. So in this way, Venerable Lady Siaro say the causing to be blind and deaf, the Upaghataka Kamma can work in this way. But here the difference between the productive Kamma and destructive Kamma. The difference is is mentioned in the Abhidhamma Vibhavini, and also Venerable Bhikkhu body explained in Comprehensive Manual of Abhidhamma. So it says that productive Kamma just produce its own result, but the destructive Kamma firstly cut off others Kamma's result and produce its own. So the cutting off is extra work of the destructive Kamma. This is how the Vibhavini Tika explained. But it continued to mention about the another explanation of reference to the other teacher, Apre teacher. So the other teachers say that destructive karma cannot produce. It just cut off. It just cut off. And also given the opportunity, the third party of karma and other productive karma were produced. Actually, so according to the other teacher or second explanation of the Vibhavini, the destructive karma cannot produce, just cut off. In the first method, the destructive karma cut off and produce its own. So we have to note in this way to be easy. And also, our Abhidhamma scholar, Shinjanaka Biwansa, explained three nature of the destructive karma. So he accepted every, the explanation from the commentary and also from the Dibani, but not totally agree. He classified into three. The first one is it just produced. It just produced the opposite. So here, firstly, it just cut off. Sorry, this destructive karma. The first one is just cut off, does not produce. Similar to the Apre teacher, some other teacher. Second method of the Vibhavini. And secondly, what it says is cut off and get out the opportunity. So cut off does not produce. Just the first one is cut off. The second one is cut off and give others this opportunity, not giving the previous one again, not return to the previous karma, is handing the opportunity towards another third party karma. So this is the second one. The third one is cut off and produce its own result. So the examples are given there, but just to introduce the difference between the productive karma and destructive karma. So you need to know just the difference. The later when we study the Vibhavini, we will explain by the example completely. Otherwise, it will make you confused. So we need to continue the other types. So here, the difference is the productive karma just produced. The destructive karma cut off and produce. And other way, cut off and give hand opportunity to another karma, not returning to the former karma. This is the difference between the productive karma and destructive karma. Okay. Then let's continue to the second group of the four karma. Vipagadana Priyaya, by order of ripening. The first one is Karuka karma, weighty karma, and Asana karma, that proximate karma, Ajina karma, habitual karma, and Kadata karma, reserve karma. So this is the order of karma in taking on the road, generating rebirth linking in the next existence, or the weighty karma, etc. This order is related to the generating rebirth in the next existence. This order is not to perform. So the first one, Garuka karma. The Garuka karma is very powerful karma which cannot be replaced. Cannot be replaced by other karma as determinant of rebirth. This is how comprehensive manual of Abhidhamma explained. But actually, the meaning of Garuka is just the serious karma or the very intense, powerful karma. Powerful karma does not have that meaning. This is later development, the meaning later development. So our Shinjanaka Biwansa does not accept this meaning. So the potency or the ability not to be replaced by other karma is not related, not the function of the Vedic karma, not the sign of the Vedic karma. Actually, Vedic karma is the powerful karma. So what are the powerful karma? On the wholesome side, the attainment or jhana. The attainment or jhana is very powerful. So after the attainment or jhana, if that person can maintain in that statement up to the last moment, he will be reborn in the Brahma world according to his attainment. Even though he has done some unwholesome before the attainment or jhana, that these unwholesome consciousness cannot produce it is result, because the power of the jhana is very they are intense. So wholesome side, the Mahagata, which is called the jhana karma. And on the unwholesome side, the 5 heinous crimes and the 5th round view, 5 heinous crimes are called the Panchanandariya karma. What are the Panchanandariya karma? Parasite, killing one's own father, matricide, killing one's own mother, and the most to arahat. They are the heinous crimes, and also the wanting of the Buddha, to the bleeding. So like the believer Devadatta has done, and maliciously creating a schism in Sangha, dividing the Sangha. These karma are 5 heinous crimes, and they are also the last one. The last one is the strongest one, the most powerful. And also, if we talk about that by the meaning, so cannot be replaced by the other karma. So if a person done 2 and more of the 5 heinous crime, kill mother and also killing father, to both. So what is a more powerful take place, and the other cannot run, cannot produce its result? It means the powerful one can take place others result. That is why this meaning is not concerned with this explanation that Venerable Ancient Janaka say. And also here, what is wrong view? Yeah, Natika deity rejecting the result. Aheduka deity rejecting the cause and effect, cause and result. And also Akriya deity rejecting the wholesome and unwholesome. So that also include, especially 5 heinous crimes are expressed as a Vedic karma, but although it is not mentioned in the ancient commentary and sub-commentary, a later time, the 5th round view are also considered as the Kruga karma, because it is sure if a person holding one of the 3 views, developing the idea and then make the determination, even the Buddha cannot make the straight again his view. And in that situation, he will be reborn in the woeful state. That is why that is called the Vedic karma. Okay, so these are the first type of second group. And let's continue to the second one, asana karma, that proximate karma. That is a potent karma, the potent karma, which also very powerful. A karma remembered near that moment, or which is performed shortly near that moment. So this can be powerful. They immediately before the last moment of Javana is called the Maranasana Javana. After that, the being is dying. The being's dying. So just before that, the last process, the Kamma done or remember, that is called the Asana Kamma, that proximate Kamma. So this second types of Kamma can produce, it is result as the rebirth in next life if there is no Veti Kamma. If there is Veti Kamma, this type of Kamma cannot work to produce the rebirth in second life. If there is no Veti Kamma in a person's life, he could not practice up to the jhana level in wholesome side. He didn't commit the 5 heinous crimes and also not holding a fixed round view. By the absence of the Vedi Kamma, the Asana Kamma has the opportunity to generate rebirth in this life. Then that is why we can see the divergence between the characters in life and rebirth in existence. Sometimes one other person here, he how to say that he worked as a killer of the prisoner, but later in that in his life he associated with the noble person and great teacher, and he could change. And also sometime, you know, you may heard about the Queen Malika. She lived in the very virtuous life, and also she has many opportunity to perform the good deed in her life, but she was reborn in hell for 7 days, shortly 7 days. But her life and the woeful state is not matched, but actually due to the work of Asana Kamma just before she died, and just before the last moment of her life, and she remembered one unwholesome case that produced the rebirth in the woeful state like this. So the difference between the character in life and rebirth can be found due to the work of Asana Kamma. Then this does not mean that that person can escape the proof of other good and bad karma. So after 7 days in woeful state, the Malika, she was reborn in the heavenly realms due to the result of the wholesome she has done. That's why there is no escaping. And when they meet the wholesome and unwholesome in the life, when they meet the condition, they will produce their due result. Okay, this is about the asana kamma and how it works. Then the third type is ajina kamma, habitual kamma. Habitual kamma is a deed that one habitually perform either good or bad. It can be good and bad. It habitually performed. So habitually performed includes the kamma, which is done for one time, but recollecting many times repeatedly during the life. It is also ajina kamma. It can be in both sides, good and bad. Sometimes that types of kamma there, one person committed one mistake, but repeating in the mind. It means they're performing in the mind again and again, repeatedly. That's why we have to know how to live in the life to accumulate the wholesome karma. And having done the unwholesome karma, and we should not regret again and again. So some people are misunderstand about that and regretting as a fool, as a good manner, but actually regretting to change our character or our action in the future is good, but regretting repeatedly regretting is not good. It can change your destination in second life. So we have to be careful about this. And in the absence of weighty karma or the potent debt proximate karma, the former two karma, this can generate its rebirth in second life. That's why we have to be careful about this. If we don't have the Garuka karma or Asana karma, this can be the cause of our next rebirth. Okay, so let's continue about the Katata karma, the last one of second group. Katata karma, reserve karma. Is any other deeds not included in the former three, not Garuka karma and not the Asana karma and not Achina karma. The other indifferent karmas not relation to the former three types in our life. We have done many times, many karma, not to the weighty karma, not near that moment, and it is not included, not considered as the habitual karma, but we have done a good and bad karma during our life. They are called the Katata karma. And also the potent enough, there's enough powerful to take the role of generating rebirth. So if there is no the former three types, if there are former three types, they will take role to produce rebirth. But by the absence of these three, or this type of karma also can produce the rebirth in one's life. Okay, so the former three karmas are related to the present life. The Venerable Sayadaw Ashin Janaka Bhiwansa explained that the former three kinds of the weighty karma and debt proximate karma and habitual karma are performed in the present life, and they work in second life to produce the rebirth. Right? It will continue for the result during the course of existence. Then this Katata karma, the last one, included both present life and the past life karma. So this can continue to produce any result, any rebirth. So Venerable Sayadaw Ashin Janaka Bhiwansa reminded that to be careful about our karma in the present life, because the karma in the present life is very important to determine for the next destination, because the former threes are done in this present life. So if we have done any of these three, they will take place to produce our next destination. So we have to careful about our present action, other than considering the past, what types of karma we have done, and expecting the good result, or being afraid of the bad result. Just careful about the present life to perform the Garuka karma to attain the jhana, and you will be reborn in the Brahma world. And also, if you are done even the near death moment, you can perform the wholesome deed, which can be the cause of the heavenly rebirth in the next life. So you will be surely reborn in the second life as a deva. And also, you can perform a good action to be habit, come into your habit. So habitual to be habitual karma, then that can take place. That's why only the Katata karma is included the past life. So the first former three representing the present karma. So the present life is very important to determine your next destination. Okay, so this is the one of the benefits of studying Abhidhamma. And okay, let's continue to the third group. So the third group, Data Dhamma Viraniya Kamma, immediately effective Kamma, Upapacha Viraniya Kamma, subsequently effective Kamma, Aprapriya Viraniya Kamma, indefinitely effective Kamma, Hosi Kamma, defined Kamma. So let's continue to study one after another. The first one is immediately effective Kamma. It produces its result in the same existence in this life, in the same existence. So if it cannot produce the result in this life in the same existence, it becomes defined, so it cannot produce anymore. And this type of Kamma can be understood at the moment of the first jhana. So among the 7 jhana in the process, good and bad, the first moment, we already discussed this several times. So in the first jhana moment, they are considered the jhana. So that jhana performed to produce the result in the same existence. That is called the Data Dhamma Viraniya Kamma. It is the weakest of all because it's just new one without any support by the same types. So very weak, weakest of all 7. So this can produce only this existence. If cannot, due to the prevention from the other side, it becomes defined, so cannot produce the result. But this is the first type of the third group. And second type of third group is Upapacha Viraniya Kamma, subsequently effective Kamma. So it produces its result in the immediately following existence. So the second life, in the second life, is produced its result, both in the rebirth or during the course of existence. So otherwise it becomes defined, so expire, its time period. And this Kamma refers to the Chetana in the last jhana or 7th jhana. This is the second weakest of all. The second weakest because it is due to the the last, because it is the last one, due to the end, close to the end, become the second weakest. Although it gets the support of the former Kamma, it cannot produce, it cannot, how to say, it cannot preserve its potency in to generate the result. It cannot preserve or it cannot maintain its potency to produce the result for a long time. That is why it comes out in second life and try to give its result. If the condition is, if it cannot support, it cannot produce in second life, become expire. So it is due to the second weakest, not very strong. Okay, let's continue the strongest one, the Aprapriya Kamma. This can start, it is result, generating its result from the second future existence. So here, second future existence mean the thoughts from the life, and this life, second, after that, the second future existence, third life, to onwards up to the last moment of the samsara. So as long as one live in the samsara, this can continue. So this type is very powerful. The most, this is the stronger Kamma to maintain its potency, karmic potency. So it never defines so long as the round of rebirth continues. So the beings live in the round of rebirth, it never defines. It will follow around the samsara. So it becomes defined only when a person attains the final Prinibbana. So after the Prinibbana, there is no more life to produce. So no one can escape, even the Buddha and Arahant can escape from the experiencing the result indefinitely effective karma, which is called the Aparapriya Vedaniya karma, the following. So after being the Buddha, also the Buddha feel the Buddha suffer by the backache, etc. Or Arahant, even the Arahant, the Believer Mahamokkala now was killed by the robbers, group of robbers. In this way, these are the work of the Aparapriya Vedaniya karma. And in the ultimate reality, it refers to the Chetana at the moment of fight, intermediate Javana moment, the middle fight. So the first one, Ditta Dhamma Vedaniya, the second, and the last one, Upapacha Vedaniya for the second life. And the middle fight, the fight Chetana can follow, can keep their potency for a long time up to the end of samsara. So being stronger, it can generate indefinitely effective karmas following along the samsara. So this is the third type. And the last type is ahosi karma. It is just the karma. It does not produce, which is done, but cannot produce any result. So here, this ahosi karma is not the term to designate any special class. It does not designate any special class. It related to all types of karma due to the ripening, they are related karma, but due to the opposite karma, they cannot produce their result. After that, they become expired. For example, the Ditta Dhamma Vedaniya karma, Ahusang karma cannot produce its result because of the opposite condition. And after death, it becomes defunct. The second type also, if cannot produce in the second existence, and from the third existence, it becomes defunct. And the last one, the third one, it continued along the samsara, but if a person take the final persons away, Prinibbana, Arahant, after being Arahant, all the karma accumulated along the samsara, not producing their result, waiting for their opportunity becomes defunct at the moment, after the moment of final persons away. So they take the final nibbana, no more suffering, no more cause and effect relationship. This is, they all are called the ahosi karma. So this ahosi karma can relate to all former trees when they get expired. Okay, that is the third group. Let's continue to the last group or fourth group. And here their page number is 206. It should be 206. So the last group, kusala, akusala karma, ahusang karma. This is by place of ripening. But actually, the place or sense pure divided into two according to the nature. Also, the akusala and karma vachara kusala. These two related to the sense pure realm of existence by place. Then the third one, rupa vachara kusala karma. There's no akusala karma in the five material sphere state. And arupa vachara wholesome karma, immaterial sphere wholesome karma. Okay, so akusala karma we already studied. So in this case, we refers to the to the lesson 7. Unwholesome course of action, akusala, kamma, pata. The 3 bodily action, pannadhikalankara, adinadana, kamitumichasara. And the 4 verbal action, musawara, pisunawacha, prusawacha, sampaplapavacha. And 3 purely mental action, abhijja, michaditi, abhijja vyavara, and michaditi. You can see in lesson 7. And if they are done in full course of action, it becomes the kamma which has the potency to produce the rebirth. So the full course of kamma can produce. So it means for the pannadhikalankara, if a person kills, sometimes the victim die. Sometimes the victim does not die. From his side, he trying to commit that. If the victim die, his kamma becomes the full course of kamma. If the victim is not dying due to his effort, his action, is dying by the other's action. So it is not the full course of kamma. If the kamma becomes the full course of kamma, it can produce to generate the rebirth. Otherwise, it cannot produce the rebirth. So this is the unwholesome side. Then in the kamma vachara kusala, second one, the sense pure wholesome kamma also divided into 3 by 3 ways of performing. And these are kusala kamma pata. This is the opposite of the former group. The pannadhikalankara, viramani, adinadana, viramani, etc. The avoiding from 10 unwholesome course of kamma, akusala kamma. These are kamma vachara kusala kamma. On the other hand, it is mentioned that by way of 10 punya kriya vatu, 10 based on meritorious deed, is led by the dana, giving, sila, virtue, and bhavana, meditation. But if we enumerate, there are 10 bases of meritorious deed. So whenever you perform, a person perform 10 wholesome kamma, pannadhikalankara, viramani, etc. Also, they are the sense pure wholesome kamma. And also, if that person perform any of 10 bases of meritorious deed, that also sense pure wholesome kamma. This is second type. So they are mentioned, but we don't need to repeat it, and you can review the lesson 12 for the wholesome kamma, and also the cause of the full course of kamma also already mentioned. So although they are mentioned in the Abhidhamma Sangha in chapter 5, we already study to complete the understanding. That is why we don't need to repeat it. Then this is second type. So the first and second, these 2 types of kamma arising from 12 unwholesome consciousness and 8 great wholesome consciousness. They all are called the kamma vachara kamma, sense pure kamma, wholesome and unwholesome. But it enumerates in 2, as 2, akusala and kusala by their nature, difference of their nature. Then the third one in 4th group is rupa vachara kusala kamma, 5 materials pure wholesome. So here we have to notice this rupa vachara wholesome kamma is only mano kamma, is pure mental action. We cannot perform these types of kamma by bodily or verbal. So we have to practice in our mind. So the meditation, through the meditation, this can be attained. Jhana can be attained through the meditation. That's why this is only mano kamma. So we cannot complete that attainment of the 5 material sphere wholesome by physically or verbally. Just need to meditate mentally. So mentally, promoting our mental condition up to the jhana level, the practice of meditation, that we are performing the rupa vachara kusala kamma, or another one arupa vachara kusala kamma. So here this rupa vachara kusala kamma are related to the meditation and reach to the absorption level, and also it is divided into 5. You already understand the 5 types of rupa vachara kamma: Pratami jhana, Dutiya jhana, etc. So 5-4 by destination of jhana, distinction of 5 jhana factors. So due to the jhana factor, vitaka, vichara, piti, sukha, ekagata. And this also have to denote that the in the Abhidhamma, the way of Abhidhamma, these are 5. But in the way of Suttanta classification, they are 4. This is just a difference. Second jhana, in case of second jhana and third jhana. Okay, so the last one, the arupa vachara kusala kamma, immaterial pure wholesome. This also only monokamma, immaterial pure also, purely mental action. But this only 4 types, classified into 4, a distinction of the object, not the distinction of the jhana factor. Here the jhana factor only choose ekagata and upekha and ekagata only 2. That's why this immaterial pure classified into 4 due to the distinction of the objects. So agasana jayarana, etc. We already mentioned that. So arupa vachara kusala, the attainment up to the level of immaterial pure wholesome. So here now we understand that the 5 rupa vachara wholesome and 4 arupa vachara wholesome. But each wholesome jhana chitta generate rebirth in the 5 material and immaterial realm that correspond with its own level. So it is own level. So if the person attain the 1st jhana, he will be reborn in the 1st jhana. And 2nd and 3rd jhana, he will be reborn in 2nd jhana. And if he attain the 4th jhana, he will be reborn in 3rd jhana realms. And if he attain the 5th jhana of the rupa vachara, he will be reborn in the 4th jhana realm. We already discussed, and then if you cannot understand that, and you need to review that the lesson and related lesson. Okay, so this means the Kamma, rupa vachara and arupa vachara can produce their respective rebirths. Okay, so this is the 4th group. So altogether 16 Kamma are studied. But now we have to understand the type of sincere wholesome Kamma before we continue to explain the relationship between the Kamma and rebirth. So the next lesson will explain about the Kamma and rebirth, how the Kamma produce the rebirth, and types of the rebirth and types of the Kamma. We were trying to explain about the relationship between these 2. And before we continue, and I want to explain about the types of the sincere wholesome Kamma. And here, by way of its capacity to produce result into 2 grade, and low grade and high grade. So let's see. The first one is Tihetuka Okata, triple rooted superior. So Okata is superior. And Tihetuka triple rooted, the wholesome Kamma. And Tihetuka Omaka, triple rooted. Tihetuka is triple rooted. Omaka is inferior. So here, Okata superior and Omaka inferior. And also in the same way, the Tihetuka double rooted and superior and inferior. So Okata and Omaka. These are the 4 types of wholesome Kamma. according to their grade, their resultant also will be different. So we will find the resultants in the next lesson. So here, triple rooted refers to the Kamma with knowledge. Kamma with knowledge. What is the knowledge? The knowledge is, so Kamma Sakata Jnana. The knowledge, understanding that Kamma as one's own property. Kamma as one's own property. That understanding, or that understanding, there it is called the Kamma Sakata Jnana. It is not just the believing, not just the blind faith, the following to the tradition or following to the teacher, not that one. It is the perceiving or understanding, comprehensive understanding. That is, that must be knowledge, because it is called the Kamma Sakata Jnana. It is expressed by the word jnana. So Kamma Sakata Jnana. And also another type is Vipassana Jnana, understanding everything changing the nature, according to the nature of conditional phenomena, everything under the changing. So impermanence, suffering, and non-self. This type of knowledge is called the insight knowledge. So by true knowledge, we can decide whether it is Dihetuka or Drihetuka. By the absence of this true knowledge, that is called Drihetuka, without knowledge. So whenever we perform the wholesome Kamma, we have to care about to be with knowledge, Dihetuka, because the result is different, superior grade and inferior grade. We expect for the superior grade. Okay, so in the unwholesome side, we cannot divide it into Okata or Omaka, etc. And we can just divide it there. Some Kamma can produce the rebirth, and some Kamma cannot produce the rebirth, just the result in the lifetime. So the Kamma, unwholesome Kamma, so the Kamma, the related to the consciousness rooted in delusion and accompanied by restlessness. So here, Odacha, Sahagata consciousness. It is very weak. The weakest of all unwholesome, it cannot produce the rebirth, any rebirth. It can just produce the result during the lifetime. But another 11. So here other 11 except the restlessness. 11 unwholesome Kamma can generate the rebirth linking. So we can get the two groups. The Odacha, restlessness, cannot produce rebirth, just produce the result in the lifespan during the lifetime. And the other 11 can produce both rebirth linking and also the result during the course of existence too. So in this way, we can classify into 4 to the sense pure wholesome Kamma, and unwholesome Kamma can be divided into 2. So now in this lesson, we have studied the 16 types of Kamma in 4 groups, and also classify the sense pure wholesome into 4 and unwholesome into 2. And so trying to understand these all types of Kamma in this lesson, and in the next lesson we will continue how they produce the result in Patisandhi moment and then Poti moment. Okay, so I'm going to stop here my explanation about the Kamma as a lesson 14, and let's continue to the Q&A session. Sadhu, sadhu, sadhu.
Okay, so the first question. Pandami Bante, if a person gets stroke and suddenly passes away, Is this considered as a destructive karma? Sadhu, sadhu, sadhu.
Yes, that is by the work of the destructive karma. Destructive karma, yeah.
Okay. So next question, Vantami Bante, for example, if two persons had been mother and son in the past life, if they meet again in the present life due to their affinity, will their behavior towards each other in the present life be quite similar to their behavior in the past? You can do question 1 first.
So, okay, so what does mean that?
So in the past life, they had been mother and son. And then in this life,
right.
if they meet again, will their behavior towards each other be the same as their past life? That means will they feel like they are mother and son again?
Okay. So actually, this is not the work of the Kamma. Is the work of the the upadana of the craving. So it continue the power of craving continue. So memorizing, keeping some memory inside, and as soon as he see, like the one couple at the time of the Buddha, they were the parents many continuously about the 500 times the parents of the Buddha Bodhisattva. That is why as soon as they see the Buddha, they regard the Buddha as their son, as their own son. So this is because of the passion, or we can say their passion of the work of the craving, upadana, working of the upadana, not the working of the Kamma. Okay.
Yeah, so the next question, sometimes when we may meet some new friends in our life, we may especially like a person or we may especially dislike a person naturally. For example, we may meet some Dharma teachers and we may like to listen to and trust their teachings immediately. Could this be due to past karma also? Are these considered as habitual karma also?
Actually, it can be in two ways. But if you, according to the word, naturally, if you say the naturally become in first sight or in first time meeting, it naturally that feeling come out. It is due to the past karma, not actually past already. We cannot say that is not only the karma. So the nature of the power of the affection on that. So there are two reasons mentioned in the Pali literature to feel in that way. Sometimes we feel this. So the family or we feel the friendship. Then sometimes we dislike automatically. It can be the work of the past existence, the feeling or the craving or hatred like this. So they also carried by the karma potency, that nature allow the karma potency carry that nature too. So that is, we can say that due to the past condition. And sometimes after listening one time or two times or develop the feeling, good feeling or bad feeling, that is due to their present attitude, thinking about this is beneficial to me or this is harm beautiful like this. So developing the kindness toward them or kindness or affection like this. And on the other hand, developing, it is not like my view, or contrary to my understanding or something like this. It caused to my disadvantage like this. Considering that is related, one develop hatred feeling, to say with hatred, that is due to the present attitude. So it can be in both sides. But if naturally feeling come off by the first time or like this. It is due to the past mental power or past karma. You can say the past karma. Okay.
So the next question, Vandami Venerable Bante, could Bante explain in detail the conditions that someone need to complete the action of making schism in the Sangha? Can it be done only by a bhikkhu? Can a lay person also do that crime too? Anumodami Bante, sadhu, sadhu, sadhu.
Okay, this is still argument. If a lay person, whether the lay person can do the Sangha Bhedaka or not, the schism of Sangha. But actually, this is related to the Vinaya rules. If the Sangha divided in the same sima and they perform the Uposatha, etc., the Sangha Kamma separately, it becomes the schism of the Sangha. Otherwise, it's just trying to fight each other. It is not the Sangha Bhedaka. So a person, from the person's side, he needs to, he keep attitude toward the Sangha like the Venerable Devadatta has done in the past. He intentionally to separate the Sangha and also trying to do that. And he leads to perform the Sangha Kamma, the action of the Sangha in the same Uposatha place, a Sima hall, to show, it means that to rebuild the schism of Sangha. He tried in that case, but in the Vinaya rule, it mentioned the many conditions to complete the Sangha Bhedaka Kamma. Otherwise, it's called the other secondary cases of the Sangha Raji, etc. Or not division, not the separate group, not yet. Just the ideas are different, and also their attitude are different, the wall are different. Still okay, not Sangha Bhedaka. But if the two groups decided we cannot perform the Sangha Kamma with another group, and also another group decide in the same, and they are making, not regarding they are as our group and become divided. So this is called the Sangha Bhedaka. And for the complete understanding of the Sangha Bhedaka, we need to study more about the comparing with the Vinaya Bhedaka expression. For the person who can do Sangha Bhedaka, still the questioning, because some scholars say only the bhikkhu. Some scholars say even the lay person can do. Okay.
Next question. Dear Bante, Bante explained about a fixed wrong view. Could Bante explain about the extent of this fixed wrong view? As long as one is not Arya, one may still have wrong views in their daily life. To what extent a person needs to hold this wrong view, this fixed wrong view, in order to constitute a weighty karma? Sadhu, sadhu, sadhu.
Okay, so to regard as a fixed wrong view, which can be upapacha vedani, which can be the weighty karma, kruka karma, is there like this. The view must be any of the natika or ahituka or akiriya, and also the rejection, the result. So nati dana, the offering, there is no result at all in offering, etc. There are 10 kinds mentioned in the sutta. And ahituka, rejecting the cause and effect in both sides, and rejecting the action done. It is similar to undone. So it is nothing of performing wholesome and unwholesome like that. In this way, there must be any of three, and not pastime consideration or not pastime holding that view is not a fixed round view, not yet. But actually, to become a fixed round view, which can be the weighty Kamma, the person holding that view, he likes that view, any of that round view, that three round view, he liked at first. Then he developed his consideration toward according to that view he hold, and considering about that, developing the ideas and trying to have the concentration. Since Bhiwansa explained that he developed that round view, the power of round view, so that it can come with the concentration. So Mecha Samadhi. To get the Mecha Samadhi, so by the power of Mecha Samadhi, it becomes stable, and also it becomes the almost fixed in his mind by the Mecha Samadhi. Then later, the final determination to be a fixed round view for the weighty Kamma is after that determination. Even the Buddha himself come and preach the Dhamma, he never give up due to that determination. That is the constituents to become a weighty Kamma. So that determination, as long as he does not make that determination, he is not holding a fixed round view to be reborn in the woeful state or avici, in to say the fixed round view is not holding that. It means that round view is not strong as to be a weighty Kamma, without the determination. So after the final determination, he make the determination not to give up this view by the power of the support of the Mecha Samadhi, a round concentration. So we have to understand the work of the Mecha Samadhi to cause the determination to be weighty Kamma. Okay.
Sadhu. The next question, Vandami Bante, could Bante explain what are the conditions required in order to be classified as a schism in the Sangha? Sadhu.
So there are many reasons. I just answered there in the former question. In order to be classified like this, so the Sangha must be in two groups, not the individual or 2% on other side and 3% in other side. It's not the Sangha, and they are fighting to the Sangha community to make that situation. One person is trying to do that. That is not Sangha. Schism in Sangha. Actually, to be schism in Sangha, it is one person is trying to divide it too. Actually, during the time of the King Asoka, there is other religious people come into the orders wearing the robe by themselves. Then the monks, they know they are not the real monks. That is why when they make the upasata, when they do upasata action, then they come into the Sangha community. So due to their coming into the Sangha community, their Kamma is the not successful Kamma, and also the Buddha didn't allow to do that. So this Sangha, the good monks, they reject to make upasata with them. That kind of rejection is not is schism, although the division. So some are doing that, but later the good monks are not performing that Uposatha, so no more Uposatha like this. So this type is not the Sangha schism. Actually, the schism means the two groups of Sangha in both sides, more than 4 members, holding by the argument and holding the different view, and they have the idea we cannot make the Sangha Kamma with the other side, and they make their action of Sangha Kamma in the same sima separately. This is the condition to regard us as schism of Sangha. Okay.
Vandami Bante, regarding the 5 heinous crimes, parricide, matricide, in the case when parents are put on the life support machine and the children have to decide to remove such machines, after which the parent will pass away, will this be considered as parricide and matricide? Sadhu, sadhu, sadhu.
Okay, in this case, so no heinous karma for this removing machine, because it is not killing, because the killing, parricide and matricide, related to the cutting of the life faculty. So cutting off the life faculty, because the machine does not have any life faculties, so we cannot kill the machine. That is why, although that person remove the machine, there is not the heinous crimes. Actually, if he kill the parents, those who hold the machine, and the fathers related to him, that must be their heinous crime. So not to the machine. The parents are the human, not the machine. Okay.
Dear Bante, if a person is due to die soon, by performing some good karma or by doing life releasing, for example, releasing some birds, fishes, etc., will this support to the person to live longer? We always hear say, for example, a Sayadaw can extend his life after doing more Dharma teachings. Is these sayings correct? Sadhu, sadhu, sadhu.
Yes, that is okay. So this is the good, the good knowledge you have heard about that, performing a good deed before near that moment, actually. So near that moment in Myanmar, it is very popular. If a person is severely sick due to the illness, it is uncertain moments of the life come to the end. So they invited us to preach and also to discuss about the Dhamma, to remind them actually performing and also remembering. So remembering, both can apply into that Kamma. So if we remind, if you cannot invite a man and you just can remind what he has done, he or she has done in the past, a good deed. So regarding that good deed, let's talk about this and how beautiful and how beneficial and how reliable like this the goodness of the Kamma. If we can recollect, also apply that. And also if we can perform by ourselves, offering or releasing birth, etc., any good deed can be applied into this case. So believing that we can manage our Kamma. So as I mentioned that the former 3 types are done in the present life. So Gruka Kamma, Achina Kamma, Guruka Kamma and Asana Kamma, Ajina Kamma. So during the lifetime, if we are healthy and we can perform to try, we can practice to try to be Guruka Kamma or Ajina Kamma. But now we are not healthy and we are in bed to do any disease. At the moment, we cannot perform to be Guruka Kamma or Ajina Kamma. At that time, we have to consider we can die any times. Before I'm dying, there must be the process connected to the wholesome events, connected to the wholesome event. So the full time, we have to work full times, working to be, to keep the wholesome process. Then if there is no Guruka Kamma, then we can be reborn in the heavenly realm. If we can keep maintaining that situation of wholesome before we die. So it is very important. So everybody have to face the time, the situation near that moment. So if you encounter that situation, please don't be afraid of being, how to say that, don't be afraid of not death, and just try to face up and manage your mind to be in the wholesome side all the times. You know, this is very important. The lifetime, all that you may think there during a lifetime, the many important events, or to see the Siaro is very important, to listen the Dhamma is very important, to attend the class is very important like this, and also to find the world or to be healthy is very important. So the most important thing is to keep the wholesome period of times near that moment, because it can determine your next destination. You know, if you are lucky that like Malika Devi, Queen Malika, is okay, you know, that just 7 days and are reborn in the heavenly realm. If you are not lucky that like that, and if a person reborn in the animal realms, to survive in the animal realms, many animals, they are fighting like this. So committing, because they don't have any knowledge about the wholesome and unwholesome, and they will die in their normal life, then reborn in the awful state again. And that is why to be reborn in the human realm is very difficult, very difficult. So especially animal to the man, human is more difficult than many times. So now we are human. We have a knowledge to consider about the result of wholesome and unwholesome. That is why if you encounter the near death moment, so the most important thing is not to live long, not to escape, just to keep the wholesome state of mental process. You have to remember this, and you have to try to be reborn in the better destination. So if you reborn as a Deva and you have an opportunity to listen the Dhamma, still, even though the Buddha Sasana is not in the human realm and it can be Deva realms, they will be continue to talk about the Dhamma. So in my point of view, if we are healthy, we have to practice to attain the jhana, mega, phala. And also we have to live with the ajina kamma, the habitual good kamma. And if you are not being well, and the most important thing is just to keep the wholesome mental process continuously, unless you are asleep. Okay, so now I wish to emphasize how important the asana kamma. So we must be careful about the asana kamma as much as we can to be reborn in the better life. Okay.
Pandami Bante, Talking about asanaka karma also depends on chutti chitta. Could it be possible that someone during accident or other death method not rebirth in apaya bhumi? Anumodami bante sadhu sadhu sadhu.
Okay, so this also in this during the accident also, the person is thinking about just before the accident, he's thinking about something wholesome or unwholesome. That can be, if he just killed by accident, not changing much. Then if the other Gruka Karma have done, it cannot apply. If there is no Gruka Karma, the Asana Karma is very powerful. So if he is considering to be, there are sometimes, we live not to say this is the Karma or like this. This is the powerful Karma or like this. So if he is recollecting about the Buddha, there's some people when they are traveling and then they try to develop the recollection of the Buddha, etc., to be as a kind of meditation. So for that person, that recollection can be the asana karma. And some are thinking about, they are playing music, enjoying and developing the hatred towards his enemy or like this. So that also can be asana karma to be reborn in the woeful state. So that's why if considering we can die in any moment, so we have to keep a good mental condition in our mind throughout the life. That maybe if we are developing our anger towards at that moment, also we can die. So if we die at that moment, by the work of asana karma, okay, we can reborn in the woeful state. That is why, considering impermanent nature of the life, anytime I can die, and we have to perform the wholesome, at least mental action. So if we can do the physical or verbal action, we have to do. At least we wholesome mental action we have to perform, considering about the impermanent nature of the life. Anytime we can die. This is called the anicca sanya. So if you consider life is impermanent, anytime I can die, this is anicca sanya and also marana anusati. Even that way of consideration is wholesome. If you are not, unless you are not afraid for that. Okay, so during accident, also the asana karma applying. Sometimes, that if our mind is not concentrated to perform any wholesome or unwholesome, to concentrate on that by the uddhacca, that many times our mind is occupied by the work of restlessness, uddhacca. So at that time, we can say there is no asana karma, because whatever our mind happening is not the karma to produce the rebirth. So that is why there is no asana karma. At that time, the ajina karma take place to generate the rebirth. Okay.
Dear Bante, a person may incline to commit suicide. Is this due to past habitual karma? What is the reason? In the modern world, many people have depression problem. Could this be due to habits also? Sadhu, sadhu, sadhu.
Yes. One Jataka mentioned that about the goats recollecting his past existence, what he had done, and then due to the result like this. So by that hints, the many people believe in that the committing suicide is caused by the past habitual karma. Actually, most of the time, the present condition are powerful, more powerful than the past habitual karma. So I cannot say exactly there's no work of the past habitual karma, because I cannot identify by the by the test or by the knowledge. Actually, if we consider about the situation who commit the suicide, so he or she already have the present condition to enough present condition to commit that manner of suicide. So in my understanding, the past karma is habitual past karma is a rare case. The work of habitual past karma is a rare case. The most commonly, the present condition are the cause to commit the suicide for many people. That's why it can be due to both past and present condition. But the present condition is more important. You know that for the past habitual karma, you cannot escape, and also you can't do anything. That is why you don't need to consider. Now, what we can manage is the present condition due to the present condition. So I emphasize on the present problem, present condition. If we can, you know, that nowadays more and more the condition become the force for the depression, stress, etc. Many things which lead to the committing of the suicide. That is why many more people are committing that. So that the work of present condition is more important.
Okay, next question. Dear Bhante, in some occasions, others did wrong to us and they may blame us by saying, this is due to your bad karma. That is why I did wrong to you. It is your fault, not my fault. From the perspective of karma, how do we understand such a saying? Could Bhante please explain this? Sadhu, sadhu, sadhu.
Okay, very good question. On one side, one part of his saying is correct, due to your bad karma, right? But not only due to my bad karma, your new bad karma, due to your new bad karma, you make a fault. So quite coming together, working together, my bad karma in the past and your bad karma in the present come together to make this wrong way of doing. So in Myanmar, there is one saying, "Pyut du adit phit du ahong." That is so. The phit du ahong means the one feel. So the how to say the object to that object of that action. The person object of that action is the old one. He get the old karma, the result of old karma. So this is like you here, you, and you do adit mean the person who performed that new action. It is new for him. That is why in this case we have to understand whatever a bad thing come to me is due to my bad karma in the past, and also a lack of my power in the present. Not only the past karma is managing our life, the present karma also managing our life. So this bad karma, in this event, happening bad thing to us is due to the past karma and also due to the present karma. Lack of the power to prevent it. This is our own. From the other side, if he is not doing to me, he will do the other to the other. That's why he is doing new one. He is doing new one. That's in this way we have to understand from both sides in this situation. Not only following to him, oh, it is my mistake, or my mistake. No, this is not correct. And also, blaming back to him. No, it is not my fault to you. Also not correct. So my fault. And also your fault. My fault is the old one, and your fault is the new one. Okay.
Dear Bhante, if the karma is not a full cause karma, then it cannot take the rebirth generating role. However, is it still possible to take on supportive, obstructive, or destructive roles? Sadhu, sadhu, sadhu.
Of course, yes, you are correct. Yeah, although the Kamma is not a full course or Kamma, although it cannot generate rebirth, it can be the other types. So they are supported, obstructed, or destructed. It can be. Okay, right.
Vandami Venerable Bante, the wholesome weighty karma is the attainment of jhana. Can we include the attainment of vipassana jnana, magga, phala, to the wholesome weighty karma? Sadhu, sadhu, sadhu.
Okay, so in this case, very good question here. In this case, putting aside the vipassana jnana, the mega. So mega and phala are not considered as a karma because the correlation associated with mega and phala, they cut off the round of the samsara. So karma and result circulation of the round of the cycle are cut by the mega and phala. That is why they are not considered here as a karma. And for the vipassana jnana, we cannot consider it as a weighty karma because sometimes it is not that powerful. Sometimes, as you know, the vipassana jnana is sometimes enough to powerful to prevent the other karma and then take the opportunity to be reborn. But they are not reached to the weighty karma. They are not reached to the weighty karma, although they are sometimes powerful. And sometimes they are not powerful. That is why, compared to the weighty karma, actually, so here, Venerable Devadatta practiced the samatha meditation up to the jhana level. So up to the jhana level, and also maybe he practiced the vipassana meditation in some extent, but they cannot be the weighty karma because even the jhana, which is included as a weighty karma, disappear when he start to perform the round, persuading the Ajadasatu with the evil expectation. So vipassana jnana is not included in the weighty karma. But the jhana, even the jhana attainment, compared to the higher one, the second one, weighty karma, losing its power. Also, the attainment of the jhana must be, we want to say that, maintained to the near-death moment, up to the near-death moment, to regard as a weighty karma. If he lost during the lifetime, like a Venerable Devadatta, they are not the power, they don't have the power of weighty karma. So here, the vipassana jnana is not included in the weighty karma. The mega and phala are also, because their reason, they are cutting off, they are the power to cut off the cycle of rebirth. Okay.
Bante, how 500 bats, animals in the lower realm, suffering can understand the monks and Venerable Sariputta's Abhidhamma chanting to reborn in the Deva realm? And how Bante think of some people who say that the Abhidhamma is not directly from the Buddhas, it's not directly taught to human beings by the Buddhas, and it's not true. Sadhu, sadhu, sadhu.
Okay, so the first one, the 500 bats did not listen to the Venerable Sariputta's Abhidhamma talk. So 500 bats are in the during the time of the Kassapa Buddha, not this time. So they were bats, 500 bats, but they were reborn as a human and get ordained as a disciple of the Venerable Sariputta and learn the Abhidhamma. So this is the first one. And also in the lower realm, being an animal, they didn't understand Abhidhamma. They just developed the veneration So attitude of veneration or adoration to the voice of the month's recitation, Abhidhamma recitation. This is the only Kamma they have done related to the Abhidhamma. So, and also the second part of the question, and we have already introduced about how the Abhidhamma come to the human realm. The Abhidhamma is preached by the Buddha himself to the Deva audience, the Deva, and during that time the Buddha came down to the human realm for his Pindapada, and he briefly explained to the Sariputta, and Sariputta handed over to his 500 monks, those who have been 500 beds. So his disciple, then through his disciple, the Abhidhamma teaching come to exist in the Buddha's teaching. So this is the Theravada system of Abhidhamma history. So the arguments still developing in the Western side or some other country of Theravada tradition, also they are not accepting the Abhidhamma as the Buddha's teaching. But still, studying about the Abhidhamma, Theravada Abhidhamma, we accept that history, that literature, that history come in the literature. Okay. Okay, so the one thing we left is the last week, one of our member complained that his edition of book explained the 64 Antaraka equal to Asankhyaga, 1 Asankhyaga. That is correct, but I could not find that edition, but the explanation, according to the explanation, we take 20 Antaraka equal to 1 Asankhyaga. But the other teacher, that is the some scholars say, but generally accepted view is 64 Antarakapa equal to 1 Asankhyaga. So we have to notice that the 64 Antarakapa equal to 1 Asankhyaga, and some teachers say that 20 Antarakapa equal to 1 Asankhyaga, and also other teacher like the Appare in this place, and other teachers say the 80 Antarakapa equal to Asankhyaga, different views. So, and different scholars are described different views because it is not directly come in the Buddha's Sutta teaching. So the later scholar, they have a different view of that. And also 4 Asankhyaga equal to 1 Mahakapa. They have the same view in this case. Okay, so now I wish to answer that question of the previous lesson. Okay, so now let's continue to make aspiration and share our merit. Please repeat after me. Imina punya kamena.
Imina punya kamena.
Mami bala samagamo.
Mami bala samagamo.
Satam samagamo hotu.
Satam samagamo hotu.
Yava nibbana patiya.
Yava nibbana patiya.
Idame punyam.
Idame punyam.
Asavakaya vaha hotu.
Asavakaya vaha hotu.
Idame punyam.
Idame punyam.
Nibbana sapachayo hotu.
Nibbana sapachayo hotu.
Mama punya bhagam.
Mama punya bhagam.
Sabha satanam bhajimi.
Sabha satanam bhajimi.
Te sabbe.
Te sabbe.
Me samam.
Me samam.
Punya bhagam labantu.
Punya bhagam labantu.
Sadhu, sadhu, sadhu.